My name is Daryl Satcher, and I am a love and light being, and I am a leading man.
And my name, and my name is Joel Best, and I am a loving light being. I am a leading man.
And he's back, y'all. He's back. We snuck
Woo!
on in during the holiday break, so the homie's back. It's good. I'm happy to have him back. I know y'all gonna be ecstatic
Absolutely
to
happy to be back, man.
see the homie back. Yeah, for sure. Man, it's just good to see you, man. It's good to your energy is contagious, brother. Your energy is contagious. So even virtually I can feel it and feeling that love. So it's good to have you back.
Be back. Good to be back.
The youngest friend I got. My
Oh god.
daughter's age. But anyway, we are smack dab in the middle of the series, Inner Winter Readiness. And my question to you, sir, is when I say inner winter readiness, what do you think about?
One I definitely think about. Damn, I'm definitely gonna be alone this Christmas. But no, cold for the holidays. But no, when I think of, when I think of, when I think into winter readiness, I definitely think about like just because that's interesting that you say that. Just because I feel like that really needs to be a thing because been a thing for me of just like around Christmas time, taking a look at yourself and getting ready to have that time for you to just kind of get comfortable with the company of you and just get to like a point of being ready to enjoy yourself in a way, and just learn about yourself. It's about um just because of course with it getting cold and getting frigid,
Mhm.
your house, your enclosed area, sometimes it'd be like, all right, look, I understand I like nature, but it's negative 30 degrees outside. Like, like I love it just as much as the next dude. But I think it's also
Yeah.
about literally working on your interior. So,
Right.
and not only just working on your actual physical interior in your home,
Mm-hmm.
um, everybody begins to decorate and put up lights and do things like that, but work on your interior with you,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, and making sure you're okay because oftentimes people find a lot of that, what on one time where they can't run and they can't hide and it's just them, by themselves in the winter and then like, man, you gotta end up facing a lot of like personal demons.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, and I didn't think about this until I named the series what it was. But you know how you get your car winterized,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like you may be able to get away with maybe not winterizing your car in the South, but you better winterize your car in the Midwest,
Oh,
homie.
yeah, for real. Yeah.
That is
Anywhere
an
up north.
essential job.
Exactly. For real. You will
um,
be screwed.
yeah, but if you think of, and that's what it makes me think about winterizing your car, right? So winterize your mind. But even we can take that deeper because, people who winterize their car, some of them, they want their car to just get through the winter, you know? I just want to get through it. I want my car to survive the winter. But
Exactly.
other people, they get their car winterized and they like, hey, when the first snowstorm, homie? I
Exactly.
want a snowstorm. Where the
Exactly.
storm
Yeah.
at? I'm ready for it. You
I
know what I
didn't
mean?
it's time. I'm ready.
Yeah, and obviously we talking about different cars too, but the metaphor still works. Is
Exactly.
that a lot of people brace for the winter. They have a hard time with the darkness. But see, you can't truly appreciate or find your light without the darkness.
Facts.
You can't.
You
Even if you
can't.
think about it as simply as this: when you close your eyes to meditate, you are in the darkness, and then you open your eyes and you find light.
Yep. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's you have to embrace that darkness. We talked about some stuff I don't want to get into in here. Some things I'm going through right now before we recorded.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to you, first of all, I'm ashamed, I'm embarrassed that it happened, but I'm gonna give myself a significant a little time to break down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna allow myself to, whatever that means. Yeah, maybe I'm in a fetal position, crying like, weeping like Van Jones or somebody. But
Mm-hmm.
after after that time, uh,
Not like Van Jones.
hey, bro, was he not weeping?
Nah, he was weeping. That's just funny that you use that reference.
And the homie, she was like, "Where did Kleenex come from?" It came out of
Fact.
nowhere.
Oh,
I'm sorry, man. That was hilarious.
that's funny.
Okay,
That's
I
funny.
needed I needed to laugh with you about that, obviously. um, but again, that breakdown can mean whatever it needs to mean for you. Um, mine was a lot of cussing, if you want to know the truth, cussing myself out. But then I said, okay, at some point I got to let that breakdown go, and I got to start working on the breakthrough, because your job when you break down, because the breakthrough's coming if you're ready for it, is to make the
Mm-hmm.
breakthrough much more valuable than the breakdown. And sometimes that's harder to do than others. I haven't figured out how to make this breakthrough more valuable yet, but I'm going to, because
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm focused on. And where you focus your mind is where your mind stays.
Yeah.
So if you focus your mind on bracing for the winter, and I just want to survive the winter. You hear people say, I want to survive the winter. You're making it real hard on yourself, sir,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yeah.
So anything you want to add? Because we hadn't even gotten into the actual thing.
Yeah, to the main part. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you basically said it all. We just keep the show rolling.
Yeah, it's good to have somebody bounce it off of for sure. But
Absolutely.
our theme for this week is kindred spirits. Kindred spirits. What do you think about when I say the words kindred spirits?
Um, the word spirits. When
Kindred,
I think
kindred
about the word
spirits together. Kindred
kindred
spirits.
spirit,
Now
oh,
you can break
I didn't look.
if you
I
want
don't,
to
I
break
don't be
them one
knowing what you
by
know.
one.
Sometimes, you be going deep. Be like, look, let's just break down the word spirits. Look, let's just talk about the word spirits. What does that mean? So I didn't know how far we was unpacking, my brother. I didn't know.
So first of all, if you're
But
going to imitate me, you got to sound way smoother than that. You got to sound like
it
Bleak
was
Gilliam or
it
somebody
was
out this
a
piece.
caricature. It was a parody.
If you
It's
gonna
like it's
imitate
the
me,
SNL version of you.
you got to be
It
a lot smoother than that.
wasn't a
Even if it's a
proper
parody, it's got to
person.
be
Okay.
it's got to be at least 65% smooth. That's all I'm saying.
These will come next time. These will come next time. Okay, bet. But
By the way, this is a smoothie. This is not liquor that I'm drinking. This is a smoothie. Just let everybody know. I know people see the red cup and they like, he's still partying. No,
I mean, hey, look, whatever floats your boat. I mean,
nah, it's a
they
smoothie.
ain't gonna know.
I need a smoothie
So,
after the stuff I ate yesterday. I'll just say that.
what's in that smoothie? Is
Fruit,
it a
coconut
smoothie or
water,
is it a smoothie?
smoothie. Now I do make those kind of smoothies, and I call them sangria fruit smoothies. And that it's been called crack before, so I consider that a compliment.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
And it goes with very well with the Satchmo's soon to be famous breakfast skillets that I make.
Come on. Come on.
Yes,
I see you. I see you.
I'm
That
just
boy.
I'm sexy by accident. You know what I'm saying? I got candles in a sense just because I like that.
I see you out here using the platform to winterize. You trying to winterize your home with some quarantine winter lockdown booty. We know. You ain't slick. You ain't
Uh,
slick. You
I'm
ain't
just I'm just an earthy hippie dude. That's really what it is.
look, then he tried to play cool. I'm
Father
just
Earth.
let me get you. I'm just a earthy hippie dude. I'm just but yeah, when I think about kindred spirits. I think about stuff like this, and it's
Yeah,
about
yeah,
being connected with someone on a mental level, and I think even on an especially on even more so on an emotional level, and just how you can almost you're just in the same vein of life in a way, as far as when you thinking something and then you bring it up to your friend, or even before you bring it up to them, they go, "Hey, man, I was just thinking this, and that." You was like, "Wow, I was thinking the same thing." It's that unspoken connection. It's like, when you can move and the other person moves in the same way, and nothing was conversed. Is
yeah.
having that ability to be like, going through a situation and having someone who completely understands where you're coming from, and is able to um just fully it's all about a connection, really. And it has to have, I think, also some level of divinity to it,
Mm,
you know.
yeah, yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. The first person I think of when I think of a kindred spirit of mine is my daughter, my youngest daughter, Kayla Patrice Thatcher. Look just like me, got my personality,
100.
everything, everything, And not only that, we're like twins. We can tap in and feel each other's energy. It's crazy, bro. Crazy.
Even y'all mannerisms are the same. It's weird.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I definitely tell her to thank God on that daily that she looks like me. Um, but you know how that goes. Uh, she is definitely a better version of me. Like she took my looks and took them to the next level. You know. So yeah, she I started to hear about how some of the guys react to her. She was like, this dude in Subway, he was stuck. So anyway, I got to brag on my baby girl. How's your daughter, by the way?
She's doing great, just about as damned busybody as she want to be, and I'm like, yeah, that's me. Like the more the older she grows, it's just like over time, it's just like, damn, yeah, yeah, like yeah, like I'm just like, it's like literally every day I look at it, it's like, yeah, I spat you out. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, the only relationships that can compare is like your relationship with your mother
Mm-hmm.
or like a father, or like or the other way around, where it's like a daughter's relationship with her dad. It's the same thing. It's that's the only thing that can compare to that type of love. Like you find a different. It's like you open up another portal of love when your kids are born that you didn't know was there. It's like I didn't even know that was there. Where
Mm-hmm.
it can be dangerous in some ways, but can be just amazing in other ways.
Yeah.
So that's real. But that was the first person I thought of when I thought of kindred spirits. But for me, it's really what you said. But the way I say it is, it's like the God in me sees the God in you, and we connect.
Mm-hmm.
And with me doing this spiritual work, and I'm at the point now where I truly just see this body as a vessel, and I'm really like, that light that I'm feeling inside, and I can, that's me. That's the real me, and this is where I'm at. There's no place where God ends and I
Mm-hmm.
begin.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's beautiful, bro. It's beautiful. So and from that work, I can see people's light. I can see their light, and it's a beautiful thing, man. It's so it's just like, yeah, that you can see their light, they can see your light, and you just even with the festival that we're doing, those people that were picked, it was like I saw their light, and there was a
Mm-hmm.
connection, and everybody was like, I was just looking for something like this. I was just about to do something. This is right where I'm at. And I was like, that's why, it's just, that's what it is. It's like, it's just say it's kismet. It's just finding, and it's like, wow. So you can have several kindred spirits. And
Yeah.
to be deep with it, um, by the way, Kindred by Octavia Butler. It's probably my favorite book. Read that book. Read that book right there, that Kindred from get that up in you. And it was a point where I was getting to the end. It was so good. I started slowing down because I didn't want the story to end. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this is so too good. I'm so invested.
Yeah.
Um, Side note, but yeah, it's I wish there are family members I wish I was closer with, and it hurts that I'm not closer with them because I know why.
Yeah.
But at the same time, too, we all working on ourselves. We all have some unrest that we're trying to resolve. And our goal, I think, should be peace of mind. That's the starting point, not the goal of your life, but the start. When you find that peace of mind, you have clarity, you have focus, you have infinite creativity. It's a beautiful thing. And so it's like, yeah, I'm hurt, but I'm not going to allow that to damage me, to infect my spirit. Not to say it's an infection, but some people just going through what they're going through, and it does affect their relationship with you. Um, Sometimes our insecurities clash, you know. But thank God for the kindred spirits. Thank God, even though I got a lot of kindred spirit family that is growing, has grown during quarantine. Um, and it's a beautiful thing, and it just feels like this is the time we need to be uniting, because there's a lot of evil energy out here. There's a lot of evil energy out here, and it feeds off of that evil energy feeds off of our worry and fear and doubt.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have to learn how to, and this breakdown of mine is helping me to learn how to do that, learn how to manifest love, joy, and gratitude no matter the situation,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
because that's our power. That's our power. So like when you can really, I think when you can, and this is one of my teachers did this for me, just broke it down into those 6 words:
Mm-hmm.
fear, worry, and doubt on one side, love, joy, and gratitude on the other side. And I was like, man, that simplifies things. Man, that simplifies things. And can we actually do it? You know? So I don't know. That's just where I was at. And that's what I've been really, really meditating with those 6 words for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like, yeah, I'm just weird. I've been doing the same thing, and just like this has been so busy for me just because of the fact that I am meeting with a lot of people who are creatively, and just even like business minded wise, like just we're on the same page, and we're flowing and setting things up and moving forward. And then there's also a lot of people who I thought was going to be connected that God just sort of set aside. And
Yeah, yeah.
and I think about oftentimes, like, like you can find, like, this is why, like, granted of how you feel about the church, don't forget the Bible is still up to your interpretation. There's a lot of wisdom in there if you look.
I agree. I
There's
agree.
a passage about being equally yoked, and a lot of people think like egg yolks, and it's like, no, that's not what they're talking about. A yoke is like an instrument used for cattle, and the thing is that both animals have to be at the same level in order to carry whatever that yoke is put on. So
Oh,
you
snap.
so you can't have an ox on one end of the yoke
Yeah.
and a donkey on the other end. It'll be imbalanced. The levels are off.
Wow.
So you have to be, they like two can't be together when they're not equally yoked. You have to be equally yoked with somebody that's on your level. So if you've done a lot of growing and a lot
Uh,
of learning and a lot of spiritual growth and mental growth and maturing, you have to find somebody in order to continue on your journey and where you're supposed to go that's on that same level. Vice versa, if you're not quite there yet where you need to be, and you're trying to connect with somebody that's up here and that's got their stuff together and doing things, you got to come up, you know if you truly care about the person. Now, there's a lot of people, most of the time, somebody will be right here and they will be so far ahead and they'll be on that path. And then all of a sudden, all right, let me do this. All right, it's cool. I ain't got to do that right now. Let me go hang with them. All right, we don't have to, and you end up making so many different sacrifices to lower your yoke, as opposed to staying where you are and allowing others to level with you. And I think that's a huge part of Kindred Spirits is that I'm able to put on my yoke and somehow, boom, we're both instantly at the same level. We could walk and move and carry things and go along the journey together. And I think that's like just a huge thing, especially right now when people seem so separate. Now you see how much we missed it, and now people are longing to connect and to be together. And they created so many different apps to connect people in so many different ways and things like that, because everybody in this season is still trying to find that kindred spirit, to go along the journey with.
Well, how old are you again?
I'm 21.
So we just had a 21-year-old, and I'm not the only one, drop so much science on us that I should have heard when I was your age. Man, that's all I gotta say. I mean, we have to stop and acknowledge that was crazy. I had no idea that that's what equally yoked meant.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's deep. I'm just taking it all in, and also at the same time excited because it's like just this was equally yoked right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even though I was trying to hold it down as much as I could, it was, it's just not. It's just not the same. The only thing I would push back on and what you said, and you definitely should do a relationship something and then add the jokes. By the way, and maybe we do that together. I don't know. Maybe we do that together,
Yeah.
or better yet, get you a sister to do it with.
Yeah.
But she got to be
Exactly. Right.
can't be on the.
Yo, you can't.
It's just the only thing. Well, okay, because it's so much. I'll say this. The first thing I'll say is that so many people in my age group, men and women, married people, and a lot of that is because you have progressive spirits marrying regressive spirits. I didn't know what to call them, so I just said regressive spirits.
I like that. I like both of those terms.
It kind of flowed off the tongue well for me too. So you had a lot of that happening. You had people marrying out of lust.
Yeah.
Lust and excitement, and what Disney tells us love is.
Mm-hmm.
You have people who might have been in love, might have thought they were in love, but there was no respect. And then here's the one that really is this is the one that brings all that home. You had people who hadn't learned how to love themselves marrying other people. And that's not like one person was in love with himself and one person wasn't. I think both were not in love with themselves.
Yeah.
Therefore, I was married 5 years. I've never been in love because I just fell in love with myself like a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been in love. I've never been in love. The only thing I'll push back is that you said people are trying to find that kindred spirit. That is I think the problem. Not to say you shouldn't find,
Yeah. Yeah.
a romantic, I mean, someone that you, a mate. It's not saying you shouldn't find a mate, but we have kindred spirits, you know?
Mm-hmm.
This right here this is a kindred spirit situation.
Yeah.
No doubt. We both know it.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? You could tell.
Everything was happen chance. Everything was like we just so happened to be at this place at the right time and do this
No
thing.
such thing. No coincidences. When we
Yeah.
were on that meeting with the performers for the festival, everybody on there could tell.
But that goes back to my point when I was like a big part of kindred spirit is that level of divinity. Where it's like I wasn't looking for it, didn't try to force it. It was just something that just happened and we connected and we went on from there. You
And
know.
you know what's crazy about that? I've had quite a few of those experiences during this pandemic
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
where it
same.
was effortless. Like I teach family flow with this sister Batia Walker. I've always wanted to build and do something dope like that with a sister. I always kind of wanted to do something like that, like help elevate people and empower and enlighten people with a sister. I always wanted to do that. And
Mm-hmm.
Batia is married. It's not even about that. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? I'm cool with her husband. What up? That's not what it's about.
Exactly. It's not like a Derek Fisher, Matt Barnes situation. Like it's
Exactly. So here we go. The light skin. We couldn't end the show without you repping your people.
these are the classics. I gotta bring out the classics. You gotta bring out the classics. It's a
Hey
return
man, I can't be mad because Chris Barnes is the hardest. He goes into the hard light skin Hall of Fame, which is not a big space.
It's not.
Yeah, I
It's not.
dissed you at the same time.
It's
Like
a,
he's in the Hall of Fame for whooping. I mean, he's hard. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I really feel like y'all should celebrate him more. I mean, he's not
Oh yeah.
Smokey
100%.
Robinson. Smokey Robinson, y'all's godfather. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's the OG.
He's not. Yeah, he ain't Smokey. But Matt Barnes needs a. He when
He
he
up
did what
there.
he
He
did,
up there.
and
He's
just
my
for people that
personal
don't
favorite.
know,
I love Matt Barnes.
right? I fucks with Matt Barnes, but Derek Fisher was. They were teammates. Him and Derek Fisher were teammates on the Lakers, and Matt Barnes was married. They had twins together and everything. They broke up, but Derek Fisher got with Matt Barnes' ex-wife without even talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
And so Derek Fisher was at Matt Barnes' house. No, he was at her house. It was still his house.
It was still his house. I don't even think they were fully
It was definitely
separated.
his house.
That's where the beef came in from because they weren't even fully separated when
That's
Derek
what it was.
and he was
So
like, "Oh no."
he was at his house, and hosting a barbecue. So Matt Barnes drove like I think 75 minutes and whooped ass.
Yep.
And the thing is like, here's the thing: what's more disrespectful? That you messing with my woman, um, you wearing my house shoes and my apron for the grill, or I got some meat in the freezer. I done seasoned it. You took that meat and grilled that meat. Which one is worse? Joel, which one is worse? Messing with my woman, wearing my stuff, or cooking the meat I prepared?
As a Chicago nigga, you cook my meat I prepared. I'm sorry. Cause like you know how we do barbecues. You know how we do barbecues. If I prepared some meat, this is not like, oh, I went to go buy it the day before and it's in a box and I'm gonna just unbox.
Oh my
If
God.
I had something sitting there, like especially, like, come on, cause you even know in a black household, you like, hey, what y'all gonna do with this? Even if you looking at it, the ass. So to just go ahead, just make it's like, all right, you gotta get stabbed. Like it's just that's the law. Like
I just love black people so much
we're great.
because
We're
it
great.
was just like, I'm a nigga from Chicago. It was like only us would answer a question like that.
Yeah, because like
Man, I'm crying over it. This shit's hilarious.
that's like a sin. Like you just shouldn't do that. Like everyone knows to not do that.
Oh
You don't
my
cook
God.
another man's meat. You just don't. You
I
just
agree
don't.
110% because, you know,
I let it
and,
marinate.
I come from my experience when me and my ex-wife, we separated. we didn't get back together. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my experience. So def- definitely the meat for sure. Now
And then
wearing my apron,
did you cook it right? Did you overcook it? Did you undercook it? I
that's
should get the first piece at least.
that's a
Like,
good point. No, you shouldn't be cooking the meat I prepared. And
yeah,
notice
you
I'm saying it a
you
certain
know,
way.
but at this point, it's already cooked right. So you've already done it. So
Yeah.
there's so many other factors on top of that. It's like, did you save me some? Did I like you just cooked it and just was like, here, like
And I
that's
didn't even think about like, did you overcook it or undercook it? Like, is it good? Because
but then that's a waste of
I'm
meat.
supposed to come
It's
in
one
there.
thing to steal my meat, but to waste meat, that's even worse.
Yeah. Because if I
Like,
whipped your ass and there were like 2 or 3 people still eating the meat while the ass whooping was happening, that means you cooked it right. Because I know I seasoned it right.
yeah. But if you cooked it wrong and it's undercooked and everybody I see all my meat in the garbage and they only got one bite out of it, that's 2 ass whoopings. That's 2 separate ass whoopings.
Well, you mess with my
You cook
wife,
my
get you
meat
an ass
ass
whooping.
whooping, and then you can't cook ass
Yeah.
whooping.
Us being teammates and you messing with my ex-wife, like I know some homies that don't like people messing with a girl they used to date.
Exactly.
So you get your ass whipped for messing with my woman, doing that in front of my boys. Um, definitely wearing my apron, but the most of the ass whooping is coming for
You cook my
the
meat. Oh,
meat.
100%.
And it's really my boys
I
too.
would catch a felony. I would not mind
Yeah,
catching a
yeah.
small felony.
So we building bridges officially elects Matt Barnes into the light skin Hall of Fame.
100%. 100%. He was already there for me.
But this got him there. This really because I knew
Oh,
he was
100.
tough on.
Yeah.
It's a lot of dudes that act tough on the court that ain't really tough guys.
Soft. Be soft.
Like Kindred Perkins, he's a bad actor because I don't believe him.
That boy Kendrick Perkins is soft with a W.
Well, he's a little Catholic boy back in the day.
Oh yeah, he sure
He used to
was.
carry the candles. And I want I actually think I deserve props because the way I told the part of the story where I talked about the meat, I said it in a way where we never had to feel uncomfortable or no one had to say pause.
Facts. That's masterful.
The wordplay, baby,
That's masterful.
because it could easily have gone in a different direction.
Left, right?
Not that
You
anything's wrong with that. Anyway,
but,
that's for all you old Seinfeld fans. That's for all you old Seinfeld fans.
oh man.
Oh man, this is
What was
dope.
we
But
talking about? I really got heated over that because it makes you think. It's just
I don't know. You brought up Matt Barnes and Derek Fisher. We were talking about kindred spirits, and you were saying the opposite of that was
oh yeah.
that's it. But that equally yoked thing was genius, bro. I mean, like I had no idea. I didn't know. But then just the way you broke it down, like I was sitting there like, and I could easily see him in a workshop doing this, and people paying a lot of good money to get this knowledge. Like that's man,
Yeah.
So yeah, you got something with that. I mean, you can extend that. You can keep going with that
Yeah. There's
and
a
really
lot
break
of
it
different
down.
to that, because it's and then another thing, I think that's also a funny part of you bringing up how it's like people are searching for, somebody
Searching,
to be,
search,
exactly, right?
searching.
So like
Yeah.
searching for people to be yoked to and stuff like that. And I'm like, look, when you yoke an animal, you choose what animal pairs up with it. Some other than you, something divine, that's
Mm-hmm.
controlling you pairs you up. You shouldn't
Uh-huh.
be, I ain't never seen an ox try to, or like a team of horses try to, you know, saddle themselves up. Somebody
Mm-hmm.
has to do that for you. Somebody has to put you a part of a team. Somebody has to, and that's what makes the mechanism work.
Yeah. 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 That's deep, man. That's deep. And it's the thing that happened was crazy, and I'll just go ahead and admit it. Is that from my breakdown, I guess I had tears, and I said we were going to transform the pain and the embarrassment and shame into gratitude. So the tears came out as laughter. The tears came out as that's what happened. And that's it is what I feel like because I was like I'm kind of feeling a little pain while I'm laughing here, but but it's all good. We're gonna get over. We're gonna be better for it, and the
Oh, wow.
breakthroughs will be more valuable than the breakdown for sure. It was something I wanted to bring up. Well, while I'm thinking about that, there was this brother about a month into the quarantine, and I go on nature walks, and I would see him, and he's just on his sidewalk footwork. I mean, getting it, bro, getting it.
They going crazy.
And I looked at him, I was like, this motherfucker might be the smartest person in Oak Park. He done figured it out. I was like, this dude is a genius. I was seriously,
Yeah.
he didn't leave it. He was right on his sidewalk, right? And I see him a few times. And I was like, damn, that dude is dope. And just would admire it from afar. And one day, I went to Taylor Park in Oak Park, and I was practicing yoga for a yoga class I was going to teach. Um, and I saw him in the park doing his footwork, right? And
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm gonna walk over there. And if it seems like he's in his, in his zone, I'm gonna, maybe give him a head nod and be on my way. But I walked over there and we locked eyes, and it was that kindred spirit thing.
Mm-hmm.
Before a word was said, it was like a connection. So Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is one of my favorite movies. I'm obsessed with that movie, right?
Yeah.
And so you saw how when all the different spider people
Yeah, when they
connected, it was that
connected,
vibration.
spider senses went
That's
off.
that's the kindred spirit. That's
That
that thing.
really is. That's
That's
a
it.
great analogy. That
That's
is
it.
a great analogy.
Appreciate that,
Yeah.
sir. I had to come with
Yeah.
something. No, it just I'm joking. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm obsessed with that movie, and I didn't realize that my oldest daughter had never seen it all the way through.
Wow.
She was like, "Hey, let's watch." I was like, "Okay." Like,
Animated movies will tell you so much about yourself. It's
yeah,
not even
yeah.
saying.
There's actually a guy that made a video that says that the faith scene where he becomes Spider-Man,
Mm-hmm.
he thinks that scene is the greatest scene in movie history, and he literally he makes the point, like he breaks it down. I'm like, that's a really good breakdown. So
Yeah.
like that movie is like that. So if you haven't seen it, man, watch it. It's crazy in
Yeah.
so many ways. But that's what happened, and we just started building, and it was dope. Exchange numbers. I invited him to yoga. He never came, but I just wanted to stay connected. And so yesterday, I one of my nature walk. I went and got some coffee from 7-Eleven, and I was coming back, and I was like, we're going to do these confessionals for the festival. And I was like, I got a confessional to do. Let me record my confessional, right? On my phone. And so I was like, okay. And I literally just the next street I was at, because I was going this way, which was home. And so I turned this way just to take a little scenic route so I could record the video while I was walking. So
Mm-hmm.
like that natural light is the best light. And so I'm walking and doing my confessional, and I turn, I come back around, and there's my man, Eric,
Wow.
getting his footwork on. And I
Yeah.
was like, did I said it on the video? I was like, hey, brother here doing his footwork. Get off the phone, maybe we connect. I don't know. It was the same type of thing if he had, and so I walked by, he said, what's up? I was like, what's up, Eric? How you doing? You remember, he was like, oh yeah, and we were just building, bro. And it was like, he dropped something, and I was like, oh yeah, that's what's up. And then I dropped something. He was like, oh snap, that's it, And then he gave, he's a Christian. Like he talks about Jesus, and my whole thing is I vibe with spiritual people.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some Christians who are not spiritual, and there's
That's
some
a
that
fact.
are. Yeah,
That is a fact. Say that again for the people
I'll
in
say
the
it
back.
in a better way. There's some religious people who are spiritual, and there's some spiritual people who are religious. But yeah, I mean, some people they get so locked into the church and the institution and Christianity, they forget about the spirituality. And my pops is like, has read the Bible several times, Sunday school, church, taught at Sunday school, been a deacon, all that. That's his do. That's what he do. My pops is spiritual. He actually, the last time we had a conversation as a family about Christianity, he said the church. is designed to help you on your personal spiritual journey.
Exactly.
I see with my yoga class that I teach, I see it the same way. It helps you on your personal spiritual journey. But some people get so locked into the religion that they forget about the spiritual part of it. I know people who actually practice their Holy Ghost dances and stuff. I've seen that.
Facts. Yeah. That's
So
for
it's
real.
it's it's that spiritual walk. So him and I could connect because he's spiritual. And he gave me a Bible verse. I was like, I wrote it down, I put it in my phone. I was like, I'm meditate on that. I appreciate you. It was a good one too. So that was just like a kindred spirit type thing. And our relationship made me no more than talking every now and then outside when he's footworking and I'm walking by.
Mm-hmm.
It's still dope.
Yep.
It's
And
it's
that's all you
still
need. That's all you need. When you're act like, cause like I have a friend of mine that I've known since kindergarten. That's how long we've been friends. And no matter what time I'd moved several times, we done got separated at high schools and all of that stuff that we usually like kill any kind of friendship like that. We still talk to this day.
mm,
Like I call like that is my brother. Like when I talk to his moms, is hey mom, how you doing?
facts.
We talk
No
to his dad,
doubt.
hey dad, what you doing?
No doubt.
I look at his siblings as my little siblings, my extra, and he
Mhm.
does the same with my, family. He'd be like,
Yeah.
like, how
Yeah.
mom and dad doing? I'll be like, they doing good, dog. Like it is, like that's, and that's how you're a kindred spirit. It's like because I've had friends again that I've met same time period, some even longer than that, and it just wasn't. We wasn't the same. Yeah, and I got another thing. I got another homie who I've known since preschool, and we still equally yoked. And it's that no matter what is going on outside of whether it be in your life and theirs or in the world, you can always go back to that place because when you're kindred spirits, you're familiar with each other, because you don't have to go too far to search for what they're going through, because nine
Mhm.
times out of ten you're going through it as well,
Mhm.
or you understand where they're coming
Yeah.
from, or
Yeah.
you speak their language,
Yeah.
it's just easy, it's effortless.
Yeah. And a lot of the people I know are real spiritual, because I'll be honest with you. Like I'll talk to people that claim to be, believers and this and that. And they don't, and we'll be talking about different things happening in the world, and they don't really bring up God at all. They don't bring up, like I had to say to, a group I was talking to after the election, and they were, few of them said they were having problems sleeping all week, and then they were happy, but they were all happy about that Biden won. And then some were already worried about the electoral college. They just took their stress and worry and transferred it to the electoral college. And I
Mm-hmm.
had to say, where is y'all's faith? Why are you? And I wasn't talking about the election at all. I was like, why are you allowing yourself to be stressed? Y'all got to take care of your self care. Take
Because
care
you
of
gotta
yourself.
understand, religiously and historically, especially in the black church.
Come
Let me
on.
say this, and in Christianity, period.
Oh, you don't adjust your seat. You about to go deep. Let me adjust my seat. God damn
Churches
it.
do not. Churches don't teach faith anymore. They teach hope. Black
Come
people
on,
grow
brother.
hanging on the wings of hope instead of faith. Hope is, oh, I hope this will change. I'll hope, you know, the thing with hope is that I've come to terms with is
Come
that
on.
hope is a security blanket, in case thing goes right. I hope it goes well, but if it doesn't, you know, it's oh, I hope I get this, but if I don't, it was a hope.
I,
We.
I call them
Un-
hope hustlers. I call them hope hustlers.
exact.
Preachers, politicians, uh, the lottery,
It,
hope
it's like
hustlers.
it's like it's like it's like the dude always selling a pipe dream, and just like no.
Hope
putting
hustlers.
work, no belief behind it, just words. Just, oh, we gonna hope for this and hope for that, and
Hope hustlers will scam you and say God is gonna bless you. That's what hope hustlers do. They'll
exactly.
scam you and say God is gonna bless you. That's what hope hustlers do. And I
And
heard someone say something very profound, and we're not trying to hurt anybody's feelings or anything. So I'm not going to say it exactly the way he said it, but I'm going to say it in a way where it makes sense. And he said that for some people, Christianity is a space, a comfortable security blanket, so they don't have to deal with themselves.
oh, 100%.
Yeah,
Oh, 100%.
I can
And
just put it in this, and then anything that goes wrong, I can just blame it on the devil. Ain't my fault. The devil did it.
yep. Or they blame God and then move away from him and be like,
That
I knew it
happens too.
wasn't it," and but my thing is like a lot of people, this is why people need to understand that they need to read their Bible for
Well,
themselves.
I'm with it. Yes, I agree.
Because, like, yeah, your preach is good. It's good to listen to the words. It's good to be a part of the congregation. Absolutely. But you can't know God if you don't have a relationship with God. Because you just going to church every day isn't you building a relationship with God. That's you building a relationship with the church. It's you building a relationship with the pastor, with the people. That has nothing to do with God if you're not directly and consistently communicating with God. You're never gonna be able to, feel that thing, because a lot of times with things like that and stuff where we hope and we do stuff and things like that, it's like that's not the point. The thing is why faith will always be greater than hope is because faith
Come
is,
on.
I'm gonna celebrate and I'm going to move, I'm going to act, I'm going to walk, I'm going to talk like it already happened, and there is absolutely zero evidence that it happened or that it's going to happen. You
Faith
know,
is
there's
faith is an action verb.
faith is an
Hope
action.
is a passive verb.
It's a very passive verb. And, and God is not a passive God. He is an active God. God doesn't passively do things. When he does things, it's very direct, and that's popped up several different times. If God was, passive, like, if we just going based off stories, God didn't, passively create Adam and Eve. He said it, it instantly happened. It didn't passively happen. It was directly done, and things like that. And you just, it's you gotta, faith forces you to not only put, it forces you to rest everything on God, one, but it also rests everything on you, because it also says faith without work is dead, which is
so
fact. You can't.
so if God created us in his like mind, in his likeness, as the book says, and we'll get
Mhm.
to that in a minute.
Yeah.
So does that mean we should be that direct too with our work and our purpose
Oh,
and doing
100%.
things for our
And that's
purpose?
what I mean.
So not
You
like begging, can you
Without
please?
work is dead. You can't just be like, oh yeah, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, this is going, and then eat a ham sandwich.
Yeah.
It's
I'm,
not.
I'm actively telling our ancestors and the universe that we need certain things for this festival. I'm not
Exactly.
asking. I'm not asking because this is where the idea,
hmm
they're where the idea for this came from. So why
Exactly.
would they allow us to have these resources to make it happen?
Because when you have faith, but you don't do nothing to activate that faith or to show that you believed in that faith, it's the same thing as hope. You just like faith, you're hoping faith. Like,
Yeah. That's
you can
that,
just be like, you know what? This is gonna happen. I'm gonna start my business. And then
that's
you
why
don't
that's
fill
why
out
I
a
said, yeah.
small business loan. You don't, do nothing, it's just gonna magically appear, like you have to put in the work.
Yeah.
Everything is about putting in the work,
People need to
God
watch
put
that.
in the work before you
Uh-huh.
did. He built
Uh-huh.
the ark before the rain came, not
Uh-huh.
while it was raining.
Uh-huh.
Like it's the same sort of principle. I gotta, like when if you want that dream, whatever that dream is, if you're an actor, hey,
That's
you
where I
got
was going. That's where I
carry
was going.
you got to carry yourself As in when you go out in public, act like you know you're active, prepare for your lines, study material, you know, read and read and read and things like that. If you want to become, you know, like whatever it is, if you're a musician, you may not have a gig now, but still practice. Like you got to perform in the morning, you know, like you, because you never know, that's you putting in that work. So even when you're not paying attention to it, there's always that gap
Yeah.
where I find that people just so happen to hit a gap, like just by happen chance. And that's God pushing you. I feel like that's God pushing you into that moment that's going to get you to your destiny and your purpose. And you having that faith is what propels you, you know, forward. Because a lot of people get to that moment, they don't have faith and they shrink. And that moment is then given to somebody else who
Come on.
has that faith. You know, you gotta be able to, you gotta be ready for it, you
So it's
know.
not just faith in the Most High. It's not just faith in the ancestors. It's faith in yourself for sure. And like, go
Because
watch that movie.
God lives in you, you have to have faith in yourself because God is there. You know, whatever God is and whatever God touches, you have to have faith in it.
Right. And so, have you seen that movie? My Name is Dolomite, the Eddie Murphy joint on
Yes,
Netflix.
oh, come on.
That's he wasn't talented. According to Hollywood, he was ugly. According to Hollywood,
Ugly,
didn't know martial arts.
didn't know martial arts.
Kind of stole. You know, I mean, it was a lot, but
No talent,
he
didn't
believed in
no
himself. It was
belief.
it was belief, and that belief turned into drive.
Exactly.
That's all he did. That's all he did.
Bet
And this
on
dude,
himself. He betted on himself and he cashed out
exactly,
every single time.
genius, man.
Every
No, well,
single
not every time. Not every time.
no,
He
not
took
well,
L.
yeah, not every time. No,
Took
he crapped
L's.
out
That's
sometimes,
all part of it.
but
That's
he
all part
never
of the journey.
stopped. You
That's
know,
all part of the journey. That's all part. Like that breakdown I had earlier, I'm gonna be able to smile about that later and be like, man, look how much I've grown since then. Look at the values I got since then. I haven't found them yet, but I will find them. So
yeah.
it's definitely that. But I must say, you know, we
Even,
talk.
even when he did fall, like there's a term that my dad always uses, and I've heard several other people use it. But when you fail forward.
Yeah,
So it's like not even really necessarily a lot. You can even think of it like a football analogy, right? Like you as a running back, 9 times out of 10, unless you just run through all the guys, you're gonna get tackled. But there's a difference between you getting tackled and you falling back and you getting tackled and you jumping forward because you falling back, we only got 3 yards. But if you jump forward, we got the 5 we needed for a first down. Yeah, you got tackled. You didn't get that 50-yard run, but you got the first down, and now we
I like
can
that.
keep going.
I like that. I
You
like
know,
that. That's the
yeah,
well, that's the progress. What a progress. That's the going back to the progressive spirit. That's the
exactly,
progressive spirit's mindset. That
exactly.
that's what it is. And you know, we talked about this, and I'm glad you cut me off because I was gonna say something, but I'm glad I didn't say that. Because it really would have got us off topic. But what I was gonna say is that you know, I talked about this, and again, the real spiritual people I know, I've heard people say this has been the best year of my life, and meant it. And
Yeah,
the brother that does the footwork, brother Eric, he was like, this is a time to rejoice. And we talked about people passing on, you know, because there's a part of me that feels like, okay, people are passing on because we need more ancestors out there for this battle we got going. This is a
yeah,
spiritual battle for us. So we're gonna need more ancestors. And I know that people, you know, that's the other thing too. Okay, you know, I have no problem with you being a Christian, first of all. But if you're gonna be a Christian, believe in it.
exactly.
You understand being sad when a loved one passes, but there's no part of you that's not happy that they're in a beautiful, better place because that's what you believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't
Yeah,
believe in death. I don't believe in death. I believe that you leave this is a vessel. This is my vessel. This is
mm-hmm.
not me. This is
Exactly.
my vessel. When you understand that, man, you start finding stuff inside of you, man. You like, I had no idea that was inside of me. And
Exactly.
Joel, I'm really still just scratching the surface. That's what's so exciting about
Yeah. You're
I'm just
always
scratching the
scratching the surface,
surface.
you know? You should
Some
always
people,
scratch
some people ain't even scratching the surface though, Joel.
it. Yeah, yeah,
Some
yeah.
people ain't even scratching the surface.
Some people not even scratching the surface.
That everybody look, scared of the zombie attack. The zombies are here. Just hope it's not you. You
Exactly.
know, the zombie. If you get impacted by what's going on in the world, and it's just taking you from oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. If Trump would have won, oh my god, man, you
Because
might be a zombie. Is what I'm saying to you.
yeah, it's
She,
mindless.
yeah,
Yeah,
and so man, it's my and the thing is what I'm saying is that it, here's the thing. And this is what I wanted to say, and this is not what I meant not to say. We have to understand that our interpretation of God in this country, for the most part, comes from the King James version of the Bible.
mm-hmm.
Not just Christians. Listen to the atheist talk. I'm not afraid to listen to atheist talk.
Yeah, me neither.
I listen to anybody.
My best friend was an atheist. Is he still an atheist? I
It
don't
is.
even
Oh, well, see. Yeah. And most of them are not atheists. They're just not Christian.
know. Boom.
I've literally heard dudes say, I don't believe in Christianity. It's some bullshit. But then when they want to make a point that bitches ain't shit, guess where they go? They go back to the Bible and say, look at Eve. She wasn't shit. Look at Mary. She wasn't shit. Therefore, bitches ain't shit. Wait a
Mm,
minute. I thought you didn't believe in this book. I thought you went down with Christian, but it works for you when you want to make that point and continue to help divide in the black family and thinking like a white supremacist and not even knowing it.
exactly.
A lot of
Yeah.
black folks walking around here with white supremacist mindsets. And we gotta let that be known. But I say dude and stuff. I'm actually talking about people that you may know, but I don't do the go back and forth thing if this ever gets out. I'm not saying that it would be big like that, but I'm just saying so anyway. And
Yeah.
I got to think about you're not trying to I don't want to diss black folks in public anyway, so
Yeah.
because we got enough of that. But I just wanted to make that point that our understanding of God for most people comes from the King James version of the Bible. Be a Christian, that's cool. But if you stopped at the King James version, I think you can go deeper. That's all I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying. If this is who you are and this is what you want to be, dig a little deeper. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm saying. That's not the only version. I don't know
Yeah.
why everybody sees that version as the word of God. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
It really doesn't make sense to me because it says right on there the King James version. Unless you think King James is God, unless you think King James is God.
Yeah. And what I found, even with like, because just going to different churches and different Bible studies, like everybody uses a different version.
Yeah.
But what I found is that it's always I like reading multiple versions because each one words things differently, and with each one that comes a new either a new interpretation, which then becomes a new revelation. So it may be the same exact scripture but read in several different ways, and they all mean several different things.
Just
And
just but just
one
just
is
understand when you change the language or something, all the interpretations don't translate the same
like,
way.
oh, exactly.
So yes, we know that book was tampered with, but we also know that some things cannot. And by the way, the King James version of the Bible was the first English Bible. That the
Mm-hmm.
King James version was created so that they can come under the rule. They can liberate themselves from the ruling of the Catholic Church. That's where that came from.
Yeah,
And nothing to do with your black ass. But anyway, I
exactly.
couldn't help but get that in there. But the point. And that's what you just need to understand. But trust me, there are jewels in there, and I've heard people use the Bible and really drop some amazing knowledge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying there's not jewels in there. I definitely feel like there are jewels in there. So I don't want you all to think that. But
Mm.
if you start reading the Bible on your own a little more, even the King James version, maybe you won't need your preacher to interpret it for you. And by the way, if it's two of y'all and y'all open up the book, according to the book, that's a church. It says that in the book, two or more.
Yep.
Meeting my name or having church.
Exactly.
So we having church right now, Joel, by the way.
Facts. We
We
really
having
are.
church. Not
Yep.
church. Church. You know the damage, you know the water damage in the basement, and you
Yeah.
know the water damage that the food's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Sitting on them bricks.
Sitting on. Oh my
That's what I'm
God. Yes. Yeah. Oh my. Boy,
talking
boy, you taking me back. Listen.
about.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man. But
Got candies and golly.
yeah, but the last thing I just want to say is that for those people who are like their kindred spirits are expanding during this pandemic and they're like really finding some amazing things out of this pandemic, that it's not artificial. It's they're in tune. They're in tune with the God within. They're in flow with their natural flow. And let me explain that briefly for a second. And yoga taught me about flow. Before I started doing yoga, when I first started doing yoga, usually I'd be driving through traffic. So I had road rage. I was stressed out. I was frustrated.
Yeah.
And those moves were very uncomfortable and they were weird. And that shit was much more challenging than I remembered. I was like, this is hard. But I remember how I felt. I
Uh-huh.
remember how I felt afterwards. I was like, I couldn't rush out of there. I was like, my whole, everything is slowed down. So let me just stay in that. And I was like, this is my natural flow. That road rage flow is not my flow.
At
That's not the
all.
best part of me. Fear, worry, and doubt is not the best part of me, the version of me. It's not. They think about it like this. You a basketball fan.
Yeah.
Watch the greats. They never allow anybody or seldom allow anybody to break their rhythm.
Nope. Not at all.
Magic Johnson played slow when they were in half court, and he played fast when they had to play fast. What's that dope cat with the Dallas Mavericks? The white
Luke
cat from huh?
Doncic. Talking about
Doncic
the
plays
guard.
slow. He plays slow for
Woo!
this version of basketball,
He
but he
played
don't let nobody
so
mess with his
slow.
flow.
It's
That
perfect.
and he understands angles, and so it's like
Pace and space. It's
pace and
all
space, and like it's a lot of clowns out here talking about basketball that just should not be talking about basketball anymore. Max Kellerman. But anyway, I couldn't help it. God, dog, just stop. You're embarrassing yourself. I'm starting to believe you don't know nothing about boxing too. But anyway, that's just me. I had to get that off. I needed to release that, and it wasn't for Max Kellerman to see. It was for me to release that off of myself. But anyway,
exactly.
but like if you listen to like a person like Kenny Smith and he like breaks down because people just call people superstars and he has like actual like this makes a superstar. And one of the
Exactly.
factors is do you control the pace of the game? You know what I mean? And so
Exactly.
those people and that's how those type of players can get what they call in the zone a lot easier because they are in their natural flow and they don't allow anybody to break them out of their flow. That's how
Be-
you can find that flow state.
and you know what's crazy? And I feel like that's one of the things that separated how LA took on Denver versus how every other team in the Western Conference took on Denver. Because Denver is going to take that's been their team historically. Denver is going to take their time when you have, and especially when you have a center like that
Yeah,
who has the mind of a point guard passing wise. The game slows down. You're not gonna rush it. You're not gonna fast break your way to victory.
yeah,
And it's like, and that's what I feel like the thing that shifted, especially for the Lakers throughout the rest of that series from that point on. Like after that, I think like that first game they lost against Denver, the pacing changed for that team, and they
yeah,
were getting into a rhythm, and they allowed uh LeBron to take guard duties and
Yeah.
be able to set stuff
Well,
up, things like that.
he was a
And
point guard last year, straight up. And a
oh
damn
yeah,
good one too. God dog it. But
yeah.
that's another great lesson in there. I mean, you're talking about the Lakers. I am a lifelong Laker fan. Everybody going small ball, right? When Houston traded away all their big men, Kenny Smith came on and said small ball has officially taken over. I was like, not until they win a ring does it take over.
Oh,
Just because they traded away one team did that. The Lakers said, guess what? This is a big man's game. Period.
proved it, and they
And guess
wanted
what? We got bigger. This is a big man. What are you going to do? What you going to do against that?
exactly
Nothing.
nothing.
Some people's centers are 6'9".
Ain't that crazy? Like I'll be like, what? I'll be like,
Ron
yo,
is 6'9".
like, come on, like exactly. Like, how do you think you're gonna be able to play defense? There's just no way. There's
So
just no.
that's that thing. It's like, fuck what y'all doing. This what I'm doing.
It's
That's
7
what
footers
knowing.
that can guard Anthony Davis.
But let's bring it back to the life lessons though. Fuck what y'all doing. This what I'm doing.
Boom. Because
This
I
my
have
flow.
faith in my system and what I got to work with, and I'm going to keep playing my game. Even though everybody else doing this, even though they got that many points per game, even though all the analysts is saying, I'm going to play my game.
Yep. And then when you say fuck what y'all doing, I'm playing my game. That's when you find your kindred spirits. That's where you find them.
That's where you find them.
This the basketball portion, y'all. I'm a Jimmy Butler fan because I've been living in Chicago for 21 and a half years.
Oh
I
yeah.
watched the dude, and I was like, this dude is dope. And everybody, he's a cancer. No, he's not, because
No,
he goes to Minnesota
that was
and
all
they
for
go to the playoffs. Hadn't been since. He go to Philly and they get one game away from going to the finals or some shit, right?
yeah.
And then he goes to Miami and he said, I walked in and he likes country music. And don't ask me what the song was. He said they were playing my song and I was like, I'm home. But he talked about it and listened to Jimmy Butler interviews. He said, we can be real with ourselves. I can say, hey, Joel, you want some bullshit right now? And Joel ain't gonna be like, don't talk to me like that.
Yeah.
He gonna say, maybe I am on some bullshit. You know what I mean? Or yeah, I am. Or no, you want some bullshit, and then we work it out. But he's like, we can talk. We don't have to talk soft to each
Ain't
other.
nobody soft. And I'm like, yeah.
We men out here, you know what I mean? So we can say it how we need to say it, and it ain't taken personally, and we can be real. And that's why they went to the finals, because people don't forget about in this game today. There's two things. The second one is a big one. The people don't forget about chemistry in this game. Just piling a bunch of dope motherfuckers on the team don't make a championship. LA Clippers.
Oh, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
The what was
Which
that?
I
2011 Lakers.
which I found extremely funny, by the way. I find the Clippers extremely funny. What'd you say about my Lakers?
The 2011 Lakers.
Yeah, I
Kobe
talked over that on
wiped
purpose.
out with Nash, Gasol. That was the worst. That was the worst functioning team of superstars in like NBA history.
Now, I'll give you a better one, and you were a little young for it, but I know you know what I'm talking about. Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Karl Malone, Gary Payton.
Oh, but at least they got the chip.
Gary Payton and Karl Malone. No, they didn't. They lost to Detroit in 5 games in the finals.
Oh, they sure
Can't
did.
mess with me on Laker history, really NBA history.
No, but Carl got one off of them, didn't he?
No. Karl Malone has no rings. And Karl
No.
Malone is not a Laker. Gary Payton is not a Laker.
Yeah, he not. Gary Payton got his in Miami.
He got his in Miami. But it's so that's the first thing that people forget when they talk about this game today. The second thing they forget is that it's a team game. They ask dumb questions like, who's most responsible for this loss on the team? The team. The team. They fucking lost. Why are you separating us? Or who's better, LeBron or Michael Jordan? That is the dumbest conversation I've ever heard. You know why? Because LeBron don't have to beat Michael Jordan to win a ring.
No, he got to
You
be
never got to play
in
him.
front of him. Whoever is right there in that moment, that's who he has to be.
Why are we comparing eras? Just enjoy the shit. Just enjoy
Exactly.
it. I enjoy it.
And I'm so glad guys like Katie and LeBron are finally like speaking out. Like, yo, look, Mike was Mike. Like, period. Like that he was like, like saying like, there is no comparison. He
Well,
did.
they didn't say LeBron's never going to say that. First of all,
Well,
LeBron's
Katie said it. Katie recently just said it. LeBron
LeBron.
never said it.
But what you saw, and stop. First of all, stop watching Skip Bayless whenever he talks about Tom Brady or Michael Jordan. It's kind of creepy too, by the way.
Yeah.
But anyway, um, this is my thing. LeBron was watching the last. You have to understand, LeBron watching the Last Stand, and he's dancing. He's doing the doc. He's talking about it afterwards. He's excited because he watched that as a kid.
Exactly.
And he goes back, it brings him back to being a kid. It's not, he conceded. No, he's like, man, I remember that. And oh, man, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the whole, oh, well, he's this. First of all, what do you win if everybody says you right, Michael Jordan's the greatest ever? What did you win?
Exactly.
What you just win right here? I saw a dude actually go get a shirt made after LeBron lost to Golden State, and it said the real king. And I said, wow, you got a shirt made, huh? He was like, I ain't talking about LeBron. I said, I know. I see how old you are. I
Exactly.
know I live in Chicago, dummy. You ain't fooling
Exactly.
nobody. You're not doing nothing profound.
Because
And why you getting it? That's kind of creepy. Why you getting a shirt made?
But you know what? I feel like also what I've just been looking at it recently, and this is just it's something about like just America and putting black men and people just against each other. It's that gladiator. It's like it's instinctive, like evilly,
I
anciently
don't
rooted
like them
for people to
getting
put
along. Why they getting along?
exactly like
I don't
why
like that.
nah, there can only be one. Like there could only be one. That's always been our mentality. It's
I mean,
never been.
just there.
Let them all be great and let's let them do what they do.
There's definitely some racism involved in it, but I also think it's just it's the it's the thought process of
America, period.
these folks. So these folks, because I'm not gonna say just all white folks, but
Yeah, but I would say, but that's
it's the
because it's
thought
more than just
process.
white folks. It's a very just especially because so much of our country is driven off of competition.
But Joel, we have to say, mainly. I feel like we got to say mainly white Americans because they've been the majority in this country for
Yeah,
quite a while now. They weren't always, but for quite a while.
but
They've
I'm
been,
saying like even
you know,
historically, even before America was founded, everything's always been driven off of competition. But not like, but like there could only be one, and just like of the, even if you look at the beyond like the past history of
mhm.
white people, like with Vikings and stuff like that, it was we take it all, we get it all, we move on, we take it all, we grab it all. There could only be one. It's either me and you. It's no harmony.
And it's not. And we're saying some, but not all. So we're
Yeah,
not
some
saying
yeah, some but
all
not all.
these, all that. We understand that, but we'll say the powers that be.
Broad historical context.
Let's just say the powers that be. That's a better way to say it. Just the powers that be. It's this constant separation and who's the best. This team won, but who's this? Who's the guy on this team? Who's it never like let's just celebrate the team. And when I'm young enough, I'm old enough to remember when yeah, people had their players, but they like teams. We talked about the team. I
Exactly.
remember in the '80s when the Lakers won, they weren't like, well, fuck, who was the most? No, the team won. This team won, and that we got to get back to that thought process
Mm-hmm. Of
of
like
this team won.
because that's why I like Dallas. Dallas is my favorite team. Yeah, Luca's on there. He has talent, but I love how they play the game of basketball.
Dallas is going to be a problem. Now, I don't like that they got rid of Seth Curry. They should have kept him. I like
I
him.
thought that was stupid.
I don't know
Unless
what
they
they were
pick
doing.
up somebody
And
cold.
and he can shoot because he a Curry, but he played D too.
That's what I
His
mean.
daddy and his brother
And
don't
if
play
they think
D.
they're
His
gonna
daddy
be
don't
able
play
to get
D.
that same level of production out of Tim Hardaway Jr., hell no.
They kept
But
him. and which
I
I
know
liked him.
they got to keep him because I liked him too. He a little bit more gully on defense, but
He ain't got that jumper like Seth. That boy
bruh,
wet.
them Curries,
Yeah, yeah,
boy, it's like it's as good as that's as good as a guarantee you can get
yeah.
from
So they,
Giannis.
yeah, they're gonna be, yeah. Dallas is gonna be a problem. But I just like I enjoy, and I was saying this. I'm a lifelong Laker fan, but I wanted the finals to go 7 because I just enjoy the story and the drama. Like I was willing to risk my team losing
To see
a game 7.
a game 7.
I like the whole journey of it. I like to see
That's why
everybody's
I got
journey.
pissed when I like even in the playoffs when players got injured and stuff like that. I'm
Yeah,
like, ugh.
yeah,
I was
and
like,
that's why
ugh.
I love Michael Jordan, but I really hate his fans. I hate his fans. They because they took the parts of him that really didn't serve it. Like, by the way, back in the day, at the end of a game, they wouldn't just give the ball to one person and just clear out. They would run a play.
Exactly. They
They
ran a
wouldn't do that. That now Michael Jordan was so good that you could do that with him. And
yeah.
there's other players that are so good that you can do that with them. But I don't think it's as many as every team has a guy like that.
Oh, they don't.
That's the
They don't.
problem. Yeah, run a play, dummy. Run a play, coach. That's what we're here
But
for.
even if they did, even if Mike did it, they spaced the floor out, or somebody set a screen, or somebody did something to get him open,
Yeah, and he
or
was,
something like that. That's basketball. Like that's
yeah.
actual basketball.
And my boys really helped me. My boy helped me to understand. He's like, you have to understand on those teams, they were a great defensive team, especially that second three-peat, but there weren't a lot of scores. So Michael Jordan had to score. Like he on that
Yeah,
team, he had to score. But the thing that really I thought was amazing about him was, and Kobe started doing this too, is Phil got them meditating. That's
yeah,
why he was mentally stronger than those guys in the 90s.
yeah. And the
Because
whole team was because, and they were
right.
connected. You could tell that connected them because when Mike knew it was time to elevate, the whole team knew it was time to elevate.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like that's another reason why, like, Tony was able to have his moments.
Hmm.
Tony Kukoc was busting ass because
Yeah.
no one likes to talk about Tony Kukoc,
Oh
but I
man,
feel like him being around MJ
that was huge.
really, really built him up. Or
Yeah.
like,
Well, even before that, he was balling that year before. When Mike was playing baseball, he was balling that first year.
yeah, oh yeah, he was
Yeah.
definitely
So,
so much
but
so that Scotty got. I feel like Scotty got jealous. Scotty was jealous of Tony
well,
during that year.
I mean, he said he didn't come out. That you can't be the man and not come out, even if you are the version. But I was gonna say one thing. Kobe said something before he got coached by Phil Jackson. He was fascinated by the Bulls team because he said you never knew whether they were up or down watching the game. Their
Mm,
energy wouldn't change. And I
exactly.
was like, wow, that's really powerful. And when those guys started meditating, it made a big difference. And that's where that's another thing where flow state comes from, like being in the zone. You can be in the zone kind of on call when you're really in tune. You can find that more times than not. You can
Mhm.
find it more times than not. So this has been a great almost hour and a half conversation.
Oh my God, it
Yeah.
has.
Yeah, it got dark while we were talking. We were having such a good time.
Yeah, the sun is setting out here.
Yeah, but I didn't even finish. We were talking. We got so much into inflow, but if you're
Yeah,
in tune with the divine in you, in flow with your natural flow, and on purpose, where you're living intentionally. Like so, I prepare to not react to the world and know that the world will react to me, but also being on purpose, like living your purpose. You know what you're here for. You know what you came to do. All of that. So if you're in tune, in flow, and on purpose. Like that's my motto. That's really the leading man motto. Is
yeah,
being in tune, in flow, and on purpose. You'll be finding some things. If you can't even if you're struggling with that, if you can find a way to manifest love, joy, and gratitude most of the time on call, you got everything you need.
exactly.
And you'll find kindred spirits, true
Yep.
kindred spirits. Because it's like when you're not in tune, when you're not in flow, when you're not on purpose, you will attract like we talked about the equally yoked thing, you will attract those people who are not your kindred spirits. Because
Exactly.
you're not in tune, because you're not in flow, you're not on purpose. You will
Mm,
attract the people that you don't need. You know what I mean? And I actively, work on it. I actually have a mantra that I say. So my mantra that I say in my miracle morning magic ritual is I see myself as a loving person. I see myself loving and being loved in divine order. The love of God in my heart brings all the right people around me for all the right purposes. And all the wrong people can't come near me because I am enfolded by the love of God. And that's actually it's part of a visual prayer treatment I got from Reverend Ike, old school Reverend Ike. And I say that, and you start. If you're like in a meditative state and you say that mantra with your mind, your body, and your spirit, you'll start to see it happening. That's anything, though. That's anything, though. You'll start to see, okay, I don't know why this person was only here for a season, but I'm gonna trust it. I'm gonna trust that they were only supposed to be here for a season. I don't know why this person was this, but I'm gonna trust it. I'm gonna
exactly.
trust it. So anything else you want to add, good brother?
Nah, man. I think we done talked about everything under the sun.
Yeah, and it's a lot of jewels in here, and people have said we need to turn this into podcast. We got to do that.
Oh yeah.
But that equally yoked, and I think that spidey sense. That's my biggest takeaways.
Yeah.
I see equally yoked. I had no idea. So that was 100% news to me. But I think that spidey sense was pretty on point too. Um, but anyway, what are your takeaways?
My biggest takeaway is definitely I think is focus on your game. Talking about that just really spoke to me, and about playing pace and space. It is weird, and I feel like as I grew older, that's why I got into sports, because I started seeing a lot more the similarities in the mentality I needed to get this through the situations I needed to get through in sports, and then just put that in the like an artistic outlet,
So let me say it a different way because you tried to make it sound real smooth. I like that how you did that. So
Yeah.
you were a sports dude. You were into sports, and then
No, I
quit.
wasn't.
You quit sports. Now I'm going off what you just said.
Oh
You were
yeah.
into sports and you quit sports to become a thespian. That's what happened.
No, I was a thespian first.
So you were a thespian, then you were an athlete, and then you became a
I
thespian
was
again.
never an athlete.
You just said I got into sports. You just
I
gave this.
watching sports, like being a sports fan.
You had me thinking you was playing the game.
No, 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 no. My dad wanted me to. He saw my shoulders and was like, "Your ass need to be on somebody's field." But I just, it just never called to me. It just never called to me until I started, like, like, just so happened college is what did it.
Yeah.
Just like talking with certain dudes, and like I was like working out a lot more just like health reasons, and I found myself, getting connected with athletes and people who
Hmm.
know and doing, everything, and they started, oh yeah, have you ever seen this and seen this game and seen that stuff? And I'm an old head. So of course, I'm not just focusing on the game right now. I'm going back and I'm looking at, tapes and highlights and old finals game, like, and that's the stuff I like, digest it. I'm like, okay. And watching documentaries like The Last Dance at 30 for 30, I
Yeah.
I go through like 5 of those in a day.
Yeah. You ever seen a documentary When We Were Kings?
No, it's in my playlist though. They just put it on HBO Max. I'm about to watch it.
Yeah, I need to get HBO Max because everything's on HBO Max now. What the hell is going on?
HBO Max got
I
heat.
can't watch the Fresh Prince of Bel Air reunion without HBO Max. What the hell?
It's free if you have a TV provider, but I feel like you probably don't have cable
I
because
watch I watch TV like a millennial.
well then
No, I don't have cable. No,
just
I
get
don't.
normal HBO Max. It's actually cheaper. Like there's no reason to have cable. If you still got cable, you just like wasting
You
money.
playing yourself.
Yeah,
You
honestly.
playing yourself. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. Well, check out that by the way.
Yeah,
Check that. Oh my God, check that one out. You're gonna really, really enjoy that. You're gonna love that.
bet.
You're gonna
Oh,
love
I'm
that.
definitely excited to
Yeah,
watch it.
yeah. But let's go and get off of here, man. And
Absolutely.
just talked about everything. You obviously y'all can tell we missed each other, right?
It's been a minute. It's been a minute, but we back.
we back. We back. So hopefully we won't take no more breaks. Because I'm reminded how important this is.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
care if two people see it. This is needed. This
Mm.
right here. And there are things that are definitely similar to it. I got people that I watch, like I think Urban Excellence is amazing. Check that out, Urban Excellence. Them brothers, man, man, check them. It's into some other good ones, but this one, it's got its own kind of. Is different.
Yeah.
It's different. The generations, the building bridges part of that, and how we see things. Like we can take anything and see the spirituality in it,
Mm-hmm.
but still have the fun and funny and just find different perspectives and you know I always feel like I leave more intelligent from these conversations than I came,
Oh yeah, 100%.
more elevated too. So I would just say go within, inner winter readiness, go within, embrace the winter, don't brace for it, embrace it. And that's what the brother Eric, the brother does the footwork, that's what he said to me.
Wow.
He said don't brace
Yeah.
for the winter, embrace it. So I'm giving that to y'all. I'm
Oh,
giving that to y'all.
that's a
That
good
was a
little
gift. That was a
red tip of knowledge right there. That's amazing. That's
Yeah. I think this is a good place to end it right here, my brother.
absolutely, man.
Yeah. All right. Stay on after we stop recording.
Sweet.